Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to go through some basic angling drills. And what is angling good for? Well, as a beginner, I was always standing in front of my opponent and getting punched in the face directly. That's not what you want to do, because you want to take as less strikes as possible, and to do that, you got to be away from their center line. So that's where angling comes in, and it's going to be handy for beginners because there's some basic footwork that you can work on, and then we're going to apply these drills onto some pads, and then you can apply that into your sparring. Okay, let's do it. So I've got Rachel here. She's just doing some basic footwork for angling, and as you can see, she's just moving around, but she angles with her left foot stepping in front and then just dragging her rear foot around. So this is going to be some basic footwork we're going to go through. All right, let's just see it in detail. So the first drill, she's just going to step with her lead foot to the left, and then she's also going to drag her rear foot along with that lead foot. So you're in a different angle, as you can see. So taking that left step and dragging that rear foot around. Don't drag it on the floor, but actually lift it up so you're not creating friction on the ground. So just taking a step to the left and bringing that rear foot around as well. So this is for one angle. You might want to practice this a few times, getting that footwork down pat. So that's just one angle, and let's move on to the next angle. A little tip you can do when you're doing this drill is have a cone or an object in front of you, and you can angle around that and pretending that the cone or object is your opponent. So just angling with the same footwork and making sure you're just going around your opponent. So I find that really helpful, definitely as a beginner. Okay, we're going to do the opposite direction, which is going to be a little bit more difficult, but we're going to use the cone to just make sure you have that opponent in mind when they're in front of you. So what we're going to do, Rachel's going to step into southpaw and take her rear foot towards her heel and then step back. So you're back in your conventional boxing stance. So we're going to step into southpaw with your rear foot, and then with your lead foot step to the back of the heel and then place the rear foot back into its conventional boxing stance. So this might take a few goes to really conceptualize where you are in space, but if we just slow this down, we're going to take the rear foot into southpaw, then we're going to bring the lead foot back behind the heel, and then we're going to bring that rear foot back into the conventional boxing stance. So we'll just do that a few times, just to get your head around the movement. So just repeating that again from this view, we're going to take the rear foot into southpaw, lead foot into the back of the heel, and then place the rear foot back into your conventional boxing stance. And it's really important just to do this slowly, because if you're in a sparring session or even a fight, you're going to do this really quickly. So if we do this in real time, so it's a little shuffle. So Rachel's going to do this in real time, and it's just a little shuffle, nice and quick. And if you practice this multiple times, it's going to be muscle memory, and it's going to be so fluid that you won't even realize that you're angling at all, especially in this opposite angle. Okay, once you've got the basic angling footwork, which is this one and this one, you can start thinking about a live opponent, so someone in front of you. And the best time to actually use an angle is when someone's striking or you want to get into their boxing space. Okay, so we're going to go through the second drill, which is angling away from your opponent when they're striking. Okay, so we're going to do a live drill where your partner or your opponent is going to throw a jab or a cross, and we're going to use those angles to move out of the way. So what Rachel's going to do is she is going to start throwing a cross. So if she throws a cross, I'm going to step around, angle, just like we did with the footwork. So now I'm facing on the side of her and ready to make my next move. We can also go the opposite side. So if she's doing a jab, as she jabs, I'm gonna step through, and then I'm in southpaw, bring the lead foot back onto my heel, push, and I'm back in my conventional stance. So if we do it a little bit quicker, this is what it looks like. So if she's gonna cross me, like that. So cross again. Yep, cross again. So see how I'm using my hand to parry. So I'm gonna, as she crosses, I'm using my hand, my left hand, to parry the right cross, push around as I step, okay? So that way you're gonna get a little bit of momentum and you're not just going around like that. You wanna make sure you have a bit of resistance as you push around that cross, okay? Same thing for the jab. So if she jabs me, you can move around by stepping to southpaw and that drill that we just did. So same thing, let's go in real time. Make sure you wait for your opponent to strike and then move on. Okay, you can even just move around your opponent. They can free punch or free jab you, but usually in the jab you would parry in front of them anyway. So, but if you want to create an angle, you can with that left hand strike, okay? So that's in real time. Have a few goes and really get this fluid before you practice this in real sparring, because when you start, it can be pretty slow. So just a little side note for the parry, just say if Rachel throws her cross, you don't want to just whack it. You don't want to just whack it like you're hitting a mosquito, because you can ultimately get punched still. So what you want to do is, as she comes through with the cross, you want to parry, have a bit of resistance, but by grabbing her wrist with your glove, like that. So that way, there's less likelihood that she can hit you with a strike, okay? So make sure it's not a big movement as well. Make sure you're not going right down here and you can get hit. Okay, the final drill. This is my most favorite drill as a beginner. It's most fun because you get to really be more dynamic and then you get to strike at the end. So with all that footwork we just did with the powering, we are gonna add a strike to the end of that angling, okay? So what we're gonna do, Rachel's gonna throw her cross, I'm gonna angle and parry, and then I'm gonna throw my rear kick, okay? So nice and slow again, she's going to throw the cross, I'm gonna step, parry, and then throw that rear kick, okay? So there's a few minor details in this. Mainly is when you finish parrying, so if she throws that cross again, you step and angle off. Make sure you take that stutter step to get full power and range into your rear kick, okay? So if you don't step, if Rachel just crosses me again, don't step, I'm not in the right position. So make sure you take that little step and then you're ready to throw the kick. Okay, let's do this in real time, and this is what it looks like. So see, I'm taking a very small step, and that allows me to get perfect range and into that proper position. And see, I didn't take a step there. That means I'm out of balance, but if I take that little step, much more power. And we can do much the same for the opposite side. So if I throw a jab, Rachel's gonna parry, and then she's gonna kick my rear, my lead leg, okay? So let's go through that again. I throw a jab, she angles, rear side. So this one's a little bit more complex with the footwork, but if you slow it down, it's all the same thing. Yep, so. And that's it. Okay, so that is the last drill. After that rear kick, you can add on any other strike that you like. So for example, after that rear kick, you parry, kick, you can go for a jab cross straight after to add another layer to this drill. So those are the 3 drills for beginners if you want to learn about angling, and this is the best place to start because they're nice and simple, and when you get really good at it, it becomes fluid and you're not even thinking about it. So that's going to really help your sparring, and it's going to help you level up as a beginner Muay Thai enthusiast. Enthusiast. Okay, that's it. See you guys on the next one.